Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, partners and advocates, good afternoon. I think there is a consensus here that we have an obligation as leaders, policymakers, and key stakeholders to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. I deliberately re-echo this text of the SDG because when I met school-going children of all ages just before I came, and also out-of-school learners, parent learners, and librarians, to listen to their perspectives on what else we can do to end this learning crisis, they raised profound questions on access, equity, inclusion, and outcomes. But most importantly, there was a clear running concern about foundational learning deficits, which is why we are here. The head of the library board stated that many children and adults are not able to read the books that they provide for them. A students' union leader pointed out that many students enter university with severe foundational deficits. An out-of-school learner proudly announced that although he can now spare his name, he lacked the foundational learning skills. We can do better than the current data for literacy and numeracy at age 10. We have made our education system more inclusive in Sierra Leone. With our free quality education program, we have increased enrollment by 50%, achieved gender parity, enrolled and retained more girls in school, and introduced the progressive radical inclusion policy that has increased access for girls, parent learners, learners with disability, rural and poor learners. What do? We provide free teaching and learning materials, as well as warm meals for learners in most parts of the country. We have reviewed our curriculum framework to include the 5 competencies, the 5 C's. That is comprehension, computational thinking, critical thinking, creativity, and civics. Learners can also upskill and reskill at the increased numbers of technical and vocational institutions in the country. We believe that we can do more to ground foundational learning so that our learners are able to gain foundational skills and conceptual prerequisites. My government has prepared a major compact that will expand access to pre-primary education, create new support structures for schools and teachers, and generate data to track and inform our decisions. We will also pioneer a new approach to financing early childhood education. We have just launched an outcomes fund for primary education in Sierra Leone. Building on this success, we will work with our partners, the Education Outcomes Fund, to scale access to quality early childhood education. We also have an opportunity to use technology in order to deliver educational resources, accelerate foundational learning, and also recover from learning losses. Some of our locally developed initiatives to this end are very promising and widely used. But more importantly, I believe concerted efforts and cooperation will help us deliver the outcomes of SDG 4 in our respective nations. Global support for bold national agenda for transforming education is critical at this juncture. We owe our children a future of promise in which, as productive citizens, they will continue to build just, inclusive, equitable, and peaceful societies. Thank you.